Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. Got a bit of a different episode for you here today. This is the United save, but unfortunately we won't be doing an episode for the United team just yet. I'm going to try and avoid showing you guys what's happened so far because this episode is going to be all about how to bring in the best players for your club. And I'm going to be showing you my opinion on the matter. Obviously, a lot of people have different opinions on how do you get your best, how to get the best players to your club, and what is what they consider is the best. So what I consider the best is two different things. There's two different things, of course, that everyone knows about. What matters most? Does ability matter, or does your attributes matter more? And the truth of the matter is that actually both of them matter. And the reason being is, if you've noticed previously, some players would be suited to, for example, Dele Alli, he's suited to the Premier League. Now, he's definitely suited to the Premier League as well as having incredible attributes for certain roles, basically. So he's apparently most suited to the roaming playmaker, according to my scout, and a number of other roles. But really, the reason that both things matter is that you might have noticed in lower leagues that some players have incredible attributes, but they're still actually not suited to the top of the league, as in terms of top competitions such as the Premier League or La Liga or Bundesliga, even though they have quite high attributes. And the reason being is that it just occurs sometimes. Sometimes you see players who have better stats for the rest compared to the rest of the players in the league. Wow, this is actually an incredible region here. So what matters is both, and the reason being is that you need the attributes that suit the role that you're looking for, as well as you need the ability to fit into the league. Now, if you don't have the ability to match the league that you're trying to play in, so for example, if you bring in a player who doesn't suit the league at all, then let me see if I can find you an example. Then they just won't be able to perform in that league, even if they're playing in the right role, as well as having the attributes for the role. There's actually a number of players who I haven't scouted. So I guess even though I have 61% world knowledge, my scouts clearly haven't been doing much scouting. Anyway, so yeah, if they don't have the ability to match the league that they're playing in, then they won't be able to perform as well, even though they've got the attributes and everything else to match for it. So that's pretty much the simple basis of it. And so what I normally do when I'm searching for players, so for example, I need a deep lying playmaker, and for everyone who's been following my United squad, you'll understand why soon in the next episode. But this is for the completely different series. So if I'm looking for a deep line playmaker, what I normally do is I have the age set at most 29, because you don't really want anyone who's older than 29. You can definitely find great players who are over 29. There's no doubt about it. But I just don't see the sense in giving someone who's going towards the end of the career, a long contract or paying them a crazy amount of money. For me, I just normally keep it at most 29 of age. And they'll be hitting their peak at around 27 to 29, depending on the position. So it just makes sense to bring in anyone who's 29 or under. So what I'll do is I have the position set at midfielder center. I have the role set on partially. They don't have to completely be deep lying playmaker, because that really narrows down your choices. So you set it on partially. The player should be somewhat comfortable to the role, otherwise he's not going to be able to play there that well. Some players have attributes for the completely different roles, but then if they're not comfortable with it, they just won't really be able to perform for a while. So normally I just have it on partially, and I'd have the ability and potential both showing as well. So I'd have it on good ability and potential to be at least star. Now, as you can see here, the issue is that it only lets me have 2 players. Now, the reason why I have it on good is because anyone who's got good ability minimum should be a good player for the Premier League. You see, good signing for the Premier League. So that's why I always have it at least set on good. And then the reason for star is just to find world-class players who are going to be potentially world-class. So you can lower that if you don't have anyone showing up. I always have it set on realistic chances. There's only really a rarity of finding someone who's not a realistic transfer that you can actually bring in. So that's what I normally do. And sometimes if I just want to bring in a ready-made player rather than someone with potential, I'll take off the potential and set it on, for example, excellent or superb. It's rare that you'd find someone proper star But yeah, for example, excellent midfielder Marco Verratti. He's partially suited to the deep lying playmaker role. As you can see, he's got incredible stats. Now, another way that I do it, actually, I'm not actually showing you everything that I've done so far. So normally it's good, star, and then I actually highlight the attributes I need for the role. So I'd say deep lying playmaker on defend duty. I set it to 12 just to see who I can bring in. I wouldn't really buy anyone who's actually got 12 for all of those. And then I would only say match 3 under the total attributes that you look for. So for 10, we'll go 1, 2, 3, and it'll be match 7 out of 10. Okay, so that's what I normally do. And when I'm searching for the attributes, I actually get rid of the ability or potential, whatever, and I'll now this is exactly how many players you'd need in terms of to search. So this isn't too narrow. It shows that there's 263 players who have the attributes as well as are comfortable playing as a deep lying playmaker. You can actually take that off, and it will further your field to search for. And so these are all midfielders who have the potential, the central midfielders who have the attributes, sorry, not the potential. And what I'll do is I'll just mass scout all the players available on this, what's been narrowed for me, basically. So I'd scout all of them, and when I'm finally done with scouting them, that's when I would bring in the whole the ability and potential, as well as bringing in the partially suited to deep lying playmaker role. And the reason being is that you can't really, if you haven't scouted them, your scout can't really tell whether they are suited to deep line playmaker or whatever role you're really searching for. And yeah, this is what it brings in. So this gives me 2 great options now. I've got Ruben Neves from FCP, who's really incredible attributes here. And as you can see, he's got every single crucial one that I need for the role itself, as well as great attributes all around. So he's perfect for a role. He's only 20 years old, Portuguese, estimated cost of 56 million. And star rating for potential, so it'd be great. He's a perfect match, really. You also got the other option of Dani Ceballos, who's I would say he's not really too suited for deep lying playmaker role. He's definitely got the attributes for it, but it looks like because of his ability to play an advanced playmaker role or an attacking playmaker role, it means that he's much. That means he's got other stats that could actually help him be more influential up front rather than in the deep lying playmaker role. He definitely can play there, but Ruben probably the first choice playmaker. So if I find someone I really like who's got good ability and the potential to be world class, I get him. Otherwise, the other thing you could do is actually get rid of potential completely and just slowly, narrow out the players. So eventually you go very good, still a couple of players, superb, still a couple of players, you go excellent, and there you go, you got Marco Verratti, the perfect deep lying playmaker who's got the best ability and as well as the attributes. You have to also still keep an eye out on attributes and definitely play in the deep lying playmaker role in defend duty. And my scout tells me he'll be estimated between 77 million to 111 million cost, and apparently he is a world-class player. So that's pretty much how I decide on how to bring players in and how to bring in the best players for my squad in terms of the tactics as well as ability as well as the attributes. It all comes into play. You can't really just search for someone who's only got the attributes. It'd be a bit silly because you'd find a number of players and some of them who aren't suited. So let me see if I can find an example here. It doesn't always turn out that way. So if we quickly match all 10 attributes at 12 minimum, several players here. Look, you've got 119 players found who are a natural midfielder and central, as well as have gotten all the attributes needed for a deep lying playmaker at a decent minimum. They've got minimum 12 for all the attributes. And then you'll definitely find players who aren't really suited to playing for a team such as United, for example. You've got John Fleck here, who plays for Sheffield United. Definitely suited to a role without a doubt. Look at that, incredible attributes really for the role. But yeah, if you look at it, he's only good for Sky Bet League One side, so it makes completely no sense for me to buy him because he'll probably not make the step up to the Premier Division whatsoever. He's 2 leagues away from being capable of playing in that role for me. So you definitely find that sort of player. So that's why you need both attributes as well as the judging ability or potential. That's just really how I search for my players. Everyone's got their own little tricks or tips. So I'm just really telling you how I do it and what I think is really best. Normally it would be good and start, and that way you get someone who's young and then you get someone who's partially comfortable with being a deep line playmaker. So if you look at Dele Alli, for some reason he's not really partially a deep lying playmaker on defense. I'm a bit confused about that. I think it's just because his most suited two roles are roaming playmaker and advanced playmaker. But yeah, I think this is, in my opinion, this is the best way to get the players that you're looking for. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for all. In terms of when we're going to be back for the United save, I'll definitely be putting up an episode tomorrow. It's going to be really exciting. There's a great game for you guys, top of the table clash, really, and I've got loads of updates to show you. So if you haven't checked out any of the series, it's called Mission Manchester United series. You should definitely watch it. It's got several episodes now that we're in our second season. As you can see, it's 10th of December in 2017. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this episode. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button as well, subscribe. And yeah, that'll be all for today, guys. Thank you for watching.